In a world full of leaks, there is only one card that nobody thought to reveal to the public. Obviously, it is far too powerful for just one man to leak. Yeah, that's totally why no one's seen this card yet. But luckily, we have three people reviled enough, hated enough, that they can reveal this card. Welcome to Runaways After Hours. Obviously, it is too late for Lucas, past his bedtime, so he does not get to partake in our spoiler card. I think our spoiler card is not leaked. This is very important to know. But Noah, will you do us the honors of reading this spoiler card? I will see if my editing skills are up to the task of putting this also on the screen while you talk, but we will cross that barrier when I get to that barrier.
I believe in you, man. I'm trying to mimic my face right now as the face of the card.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So this card is Sadistic Scowl. It is a red reviled action card. It costs 3, and it says, your next attack this turn gets +5 power. Intimidate target hero. For what it's worth, you can intimidate yourself. I don't know why you would, but you could. And it has go again and blocks 2.
My immediate thoughts is this card is not very good because almost all of our 3 cost +5 cards see almost no play. The only time it really sees play is when Putrid Stirrings is for free out of the chain deck, but that is about it.
Okay.
But it is reviled, so it is playable in either hero. I think that's important to note.
2 things that I want to point out to you that will make this card seem much better. Thing number 1.
Convince me. I'm willing to be convinced, so please convince me.
Thing number 1. Lyeth, as a deck, gets 5 cards. So if you play a card that costs 3, you can effectively think of it like the first card you play each turn that costs 3 kind of like reduces you back to normal intellect, and you can view it as like a 0 cost card, assuming you can do the rest of your plays at rate. So like if you're casting a 3 for 5, it's sort of like a draw swords concept in Kasai, where like you're playing this card that's like an engine card kind of, that it buffs up any attack. This is point number 2. But you're basically playing like, think of it like a 0 for 5, assuming you can find a way to make your other cards on rate, which is very good. Now, point number 2. This buffs any attack right now, and it intimidates. One of the biggest problems you talked about with like 3 for 5s is like if they're auras that work on the next turn, you have to arsenal, hope you draw into resource cards, hope they don't disrupt you, or you have to play it, no arsenal, and hope you draw a card that works well with it. Whereas this card, you can plan your turn around like, okay, I'm going to play this card, I'm going to get the +5, then I'm going to throw a disruption. Maybe it's like Thump, the Guardian one that says if it has more power, it gets dominate and on-hit discard. This is a great buff to work with that card, because that card, traditionally, if you tried to use it with Pummel, it would be weird with the whole dominate thing where they could like respond. It's not good, but you're pre-buffing it now, so it's very good. So I think, key thing is he has 5 intellect in Lyeth, and this buffs any attack and intimidates, meaning if it has an on hit, it's much harder for them to block.
Now, counterpoint, it blocks for 1 in Lyeth.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of the word blocking. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate that for the people at home. It'll block for 1 in Lyeth, so that is a pretty big downside. It might as well be a block 0.
Yeah.
But you can physically put it in front of cards if you really needed to. I don't know. These just have never seen play. That's my big thing. But with the ban of talk a big game, this makes me think maybe this is actually might see play because of that intimidate word. Maybe that's a thing you're actually doing. That part seems way more important now than it did after that. Now that they've banned talk a big game.
Yeah, I just think
I'm very suspicious.
I'm suspicious of the fact that they made this buff any attack. We don't like really have cards like this that just blanket buff any attack in the game. And the intimidate is being something that like is very strange that they're also doing this. I can see this being kind of a menace and limited, of just like a pretty big damage spike and intimidating them. Because I can see also in Lyeth it being kind of hard to actually win, given the fact that your cards have lower value per card. What's up?
Why are we talking about limited?
Why are we talking about limited?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to play limited in 2 weeks in Montreal.
Yeah, we're gonna play it one time or maybe a couple times.
Okay, but whatever.
In Montreal, and then never touch it again. So I don't think that's a way to try and actually talk about this card.
You're
right.
You're right. When you're right. It's fine. We'll move on. But the point about him being hard to close out games in CC still stands, because even though you have a 5-card hand, that doesn't mean you get a 90-card deck. You still, if you're blocking with cards, those cards leave your deck, and since your cards do less value on offense, then because of his hero power.
That's why I said the intimidate part might actually be the relevant.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think this card is good. Like both parts of the text are very relevant.
I think good is a stretch. Hopefully it sees play in a deck. I would like one of our spoiler cards at one time to be played at some point.
All of our spoiler cards are like, they read like decently good, but then just not good enough to make the cut. This will be the one to change it, man. This will be stable.
I'm just hoping, dude. I'm hoping our spoiler card, which is one time, gets registered in the deck and goes on stream or something. Man, that would be so nice.
Wait, it'd be even cooler if they did like a funny way of making this card a cycle, like red, yellow, and blue, and they made the yellow block 1 and the blue block 0. So you could just play like a blue and it gives +5. That would be OP.
That'd be sick. Dan, any thoughts on this card?
No, I mean, I'm kind of with Noah. Like the blanket text of just buffing any attack is kind of insane. Like it even works on your weapon. So like the drawback of you have to have 2 cards to pay for this plus an attack isn't there. Rather, you don't have to draw the attack. You always have the weapon to swing with. I think it's got potential. If this card blocked 3, it would be like baseline. This is solid. The blue's kind of insane. It's like low risk to run. So the 2 block is definitely a drawback. Hard to say how good this intimidate is. The range is like it's not super relevant to it's a huge deal. So yeah, we got to see what kind of on hits we have coming. You could yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Like blanket +5 buff is strong. It notably doesn't have the slogism drawback where you have to play what is the drawback? Like 3 cost attacks in your deck or something, which like Lyth probably doesn't want to do. You probably want to be playing like 0 cost dinkers that you can buff in other ways efficiently. I think it's got potential for Lyth.
It's also playable in Cheeto. We just have no idea how that deck will function.
Yeah, we're missing so many pieces there. That's true. And but like Brood already has that's a good call out. The Spoiled Skull is the card that probably comes to mind, right? Like having a nice way to play Slogism. Like Noah was playing this in the Pro Tour and KO. Like we can play Slogism that intimidates and then make them discard their intimidated card or leave it in vanish. Like that's pretty strong.
Yeah. And it's better Slogism because it works on the claw too. Or whatever weapon they end up playing.
Yeah. And in limited, it's pretty good. You can close the game with it.
Yeah.
Next weekend
I will certainly be slamming this card in my deck.
This weekend only.
Limited.
Well, I think you're coping, but I hope you're not. I hope you're right. I hope you're both right, and it's played all the time. And I just get to go, that's our card. That's our card right there.
Yes,
every time it
please,
hits the board. Because I've never had that
feeling.
feeling. I've never had the feeling of that's our card.
I think it's exactly the same as Agile Engagement, which we spoiled. Like this card's range was like, this might be good. And it did see constructed play. And it was like a bomb tier card in limited. I think this card is pretty similar. It's going to be good in limited as like a 1-up to close the game. Maybe it's like it might be C play in constructed. It might be really good.
I hope.
Yeah.
Back to other me. Wow. What a card. What a host. Catch these reviled players at the world premiere September 12th in Montreal.